Today, we're going to be talking about how you're going to make some money with your home. Ladies and gentlemen, hello, it's David. I'm calling to you from Toronto, Canada. I hope that you're having a great day. It's Sunday and it is beautiful outside. We're at the end of August. Summer is running out and we now are going to be coming into some crazy markets. So what normally happens at this time of year, dead time of year, end of August, September is coming, and this is normally when we see a boom. So if you're thinking of selling your home, this might be a perfect time for you. We're going to be talking about how you can make more money off of your home, how to find a good realtor, and those tips and tricks to help you sell your home for more money from a broker like me. Now, this can involve a lot of different things, right? So the market has clearly shifted. For the majority of your time, probably in the housing market, the last 14 years have been very calm and just on a rocket ship going upward. The reason why that has happened is because of a lot of money printing in the government, keeping interest rates artificially low. I've made a lot of videos about that in the past. But for you, whether you are in this market or the other market, it's all comes down to the same formula, which is good for you. Of course, when it's a seller's market, these sellers would just put a home on the market and expect to have 30 offers overnight. Now, those homes are sitting on the market for 2 years. So I can tell you that human behavior doesn't change very much. Typically, there's always going to be some shark that is out there, right? Some guy who wants blood. And so at one point, it was the sellers that just said, your home is worth 1.5. And they go, I want 2.5. So the sellers were the ones out for blood. Now the buyers are looking at the prices and they're now offering 200,000 under what it's actually worth. They're going the other way. And so the vampires have switched sides. But if you follow the same steps, it'll always be the same. So let me give you some ideas of what you can do to help you make a lot more money. If you go, and it all starts with your dream team. So you need to have a good lawyer, a good realtor, a good mortgage broker. You need to have these people already lined up to help you when you're going to start. Now, you may need a guy to do some repairs in your home. So what I want to do is something that we always call about smart renovations. So in today's market, everybody is lazy. Everyone wants turnkey. If everybody wants turnkey and everyone's lazy, they want to be able to walk into a home, turn a key, and instantaneously everything be perfect. They want the paint done, the floors done, the kitchen, the bathroom, everything done. So typically, a paint job in your home, $5,000 or something like that, depending on the size, obviously, $500 to $1,000 per room, $500 to $1,000 per room. Once you get your paint done, you'll add that value to the home and you'll get more back. For example, you might put $5,000 down for paint. You might get $10,000 or $15,000 more for the home. Kitchens. If you look at kitchens, it may cost you $30,000 to do a kitchen. If you do the kitchen for 30, you might make $50,000 back. Again, this is where your realtor is really going to help you going through all the comparables and should be able to guide you on what repairs that you're going to be doing to the home. If you were going to add a deck on your home for 20,000 and it only increases the price of your home by 20,000, why do it? I mean, all the headache, the stress, the money, and all this stuff, I don't want to deal with it just to make my money back. Crazy. Certain things like a pool you put in, you're not going to make your money back. We did a video on she sheds, that instead of having a shed out back just for a lawnmower and snowblower, now you can actually turn it into living space. That boosts the value up. Finishing the basement, possibly. It has always been a good idea to finish a basement for the last 14 years, but today, to finish your basement may cost you double or triple what you thought it would just a few years ago. So today might not be the best time. So this is where you also have to work with your realtor to see what is selling fastest to get you the most money. If you also have that, the other guy who's going to help you save a lot of money is your mortgage broker. He's going to be able to tell you what the rates are right now. If you have a good mortgage broker, they may have 10, 20, 30 different lenders. If they have 30 different lenders, they have 30 different numbers that they could give you to try and save you some money on your rate. You really, really want that. And it really depends how much you're going to put down on your home based on if you have a tax strategist, because you may have a business on the side that you're funding as well. And so that will dictate whether you're giving high interest rate or, high down payment or low down payment. So you should have those guys in your team. So if you have all of those people already set up, now you're kind of ready to go look for a home, right? And buy your home. So today, the hard part is selling your home, not buying. This was completely flipped because 6 months ago, you could sell your home easy. It was very hard to purchase home. You had to purchase first. Today, we got to focus on selling your home. So you kind of have to have a lot of balls in the air all at the same time. I kind of already got to know the area that I'm going to move to. I already have had to do my research on the prices in the area, the type of area. I'm driving by the area. I'm going to go drive the area, practice a commute back and forth a few times to make sure the area is okay. I'm also going to make sure that I go to a Tim Hortons in the area, like the Dunkin' Donuts on a Saturday morning, just to make sure that there's no bums in the area, or like this is the right kind of crowd that I want to live in. So once you've done that and you have that house already lined up, now I'm pretty good. Now I can focus on my home, right? And we're going to have talk to the realtor. We're going to make sure that we have all of the repairs being done that we need to make your home look tip-top shape. Once it's tip-top shape, you now have to send in your photographer. You need to send in your videographer. You need to send in the Matterport. Now, all of that data has to come back. You should have your realtor that is going to design a website for you. And if you have a good realtor, like somebody like myself, my brokerage, we end up having an entire team go through the data. What we do is we'll package together ads that will run on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and everything else. The crazy part is in the past, we used to think that realtor.ca had all of the traffic. Same in the States. We'll look at the MLS, but it's not that way anymore. Today, we get 75 or 80% of our traffic comes from the traffic that we're pushing through our own channels. We also have off-market properties, right? And we have a whole list of people that are looking. We have 10,000 people who are looking for homes, and we have lists of investors. So wherever you are in Canada or the States, look for somebody who has those lists of people that they're working with. Make sure that you're doing that. Make sure that you're working with somebody who could package together all of the ads and run ads targeted across all the platforms. Because now you're going to get, think of that, 80% is running off of online marketing. There's a rule in real estate. The more eyeballs that are on the property, the more people come look at it. The more people come look at it, the more people make an offer. The more people that make an offer, the higher the price. And so the old school ways were what? We would get a door hanger and hang it on the door, or we would go knock on the doors of the neighbor. Hey, did you know we're selling a home down the street? We did that. I did that back in the day. We'd have an open house. We would have a sign out front. Guess what? Nowadays, nobody wants a sign out front. Nobody. Nobody wants to have an open house and have all their nosy neighbors coming in and checking out their stuff. Nobody wants that anymore. So we don't do that anymore. We focus all of our money, all of our effort, all of our time getting online and getting into the more efficient ways of spending your money to get more eyeballs on the home, because that's what's going to make a big difference. So that's what I would suggest. We have to have all of that stuff prepared for before the day that you put it on the market. So you already know where you're going to move. You already have all of the media already set up and all of the ads. So the day that you're ready to put it on the market, you push the launch button and it starts sending it out to ads everywhere. So we advertise to around 200,000 people a week. I don't know how much other realtors are doing, but it really depends where you are, what type of market you're in, what price range that you're in, and so on and so forth. So remember, we have to always be changing the way we do business because the world is changing fast around us. We also do a lot of video tours. So nowadays we have that Matterport. So it's a 3D click through the home. You've probably seen it, and a dollhouse. If you have that, a lot of people might not even go look at it now because they're actually being able to look at it. It doesn't waste your time or anyone's time. But then if they want to go, we had this week several people from overseas that are looking for homes that we go in and we have our phone on FaceTime and we're showing them the floors and everything under the cupboards, so they can look through the home. They have a really, really good idea of what it looks like. But all of those steps will help get more eyes on the property and then be able to get a better deal. The big thing that I would say is your quarterback to all of this is going to be your realtor. Now, your realtor is like the quarterback, and it's very, very hard for you to quantify what a good realtor is. You need to have a really good relationship with your realtor. So I would really try to interview quite a few, interview 5, 10, however many that you can, to make sure that you have got a good person that is on your same vibe. You guys have the same goals. But a lot of the skill sets that they come with, it kind of intangible. How do we measure who's a good negotiator, who's a good communicator, who's going to have your best interests at heart, right? Who's going to give you the best advice? So that stuff you can't capture on a chart. There's no Zillow meter for you to figure that part out. And so that's why your interview process is going to be so important, to find somebody that matches your goals and lifestyle. So that is what I would suggest. When you put your home up on the market, when you do, there's something called a holdover period that some people get mixed up by. And there's another part that says how long the contract is good for. So normally you're listing the property for 3-4 months. And so most people understand that. Remember that the commission rate that they charge, the rate in the small print, it shows you that it's split. So typically in Canada, it's 5%. In the US, it's about 6%. And remember, half and half. 3% goes to the buying agent, 3% goes to the selling agent. Okay. That's typically how it works. And there will be a contract date saying that it'll go on the market for 4 months. And there's something called a holdover period. Almost everyone asks, because who uses that in real life, right? We don't. So what that means is, just let's say the realtor worked for 4 months and it advertised it for the full 4 months. And he brought you a client during those 4 months under the contract, and he went to you secretly in the other room and said, "Hey, buddy, I want to buy this place off of you with no realtors. So can you just wait 2 weeks until it goes off the market?" So he could do that, right? But then there's this holdover period. So though you're under contract for 4 months, the holdover period is the 3 months following that, or whatever it is. It'll say like 90 days. It's typically 90. So for the 3 months after that, if a guy that I had introduced to you had bought the home from you, you still owe me a commission. But if it was past that, then it's up to you. You know what I mean? So that's what a holdover period is. So make sure that you go through those contracts with a fine-tooth comb. Make sure that your lawyer is going through everything, your realtor is going through everything, because there are so many deals right now that are in precarious situations. There's tens of thousands of homes of people walking away from them. So how to protect yourself in tough times is make sure you get the largest deposit that you can. So that could be called honest money, or it depends where you are. The biggest amount of money down that is refundable, usually if the qualifications are not met. There isn't a cooling off period, but there is in some jurisdictions. So make sure you understand what the cooling off periods are. That means they could take back their decision if they don't like it. There's a funny word in contracts called irrevocable. And in that irrevocable terminology means you just can't take it back. So make sure you have somebody who is going to have your best interest there. So you want the closest closing date you can, the biggest money you can, the least amount of conditions in there, and the highest deposit that you can. So if you can get the biggest everywhere you can, you're not always going to get what you want, but you always try and nudge it a little bit in every direction to make it in the benefit of the seller. Remember that your agent has your best interests at heart, because he's signing a contract that says that you have fiduciary duty. He has to have your best interests at heart legally, or he could lose his license and the brokerage can be fined. Like someone like me, a broker, could get fined because of what the agents did. So there's a lot of legal precedent here. So they have to have your best interests at heart. Anyway, those are my tips and tricks. If you know anybody that could use this stuff, just forward this off to them. Please remember to like and subscribe to this and follow for more. We really appreciate it. Have a good night.